Renaissance was a time of change not only for music but also for political and economical ideas and the general perception of the arts. This all affected the way music was written. Before the Renaissance, compositions were almost completely dedicated to the church. Churches kept the books of music. Everyone was expected to learn it by ear or write it down by hand. By the end of the Renaissance period, Catholic and Protestant churches, courts, and wealthy amateurs all had access to music. Composers would all get compensated for writing and performing music. New concepts were more acknowledged in vocal pieces. Around the 16th century, the canzona, ricercar, fantasia, variations, and contrapuntal dance inspired compositions. These all involved instruments, which was different from what the world was used to. Church choirs grew in size, making new pieces such as hymns and chorales more complex and beautiful.
Towards the beginning of the Renaissance, when religion was still the sole influence for popular culture, composers made their money through the church. They were paid through commissions from pieces they wrote for services, masses, and celebrations. As the Renaissance continued, the rise of creativity became a huge influencer of the arts and began to change the face of music for centuries. This change was largely driven by the Burgundian court, who was one of the first major powers to encourage and praise musical talent. They sought out and paid composers, artists, and musicians to work in their court, and being such a huge power in Europe, this idea of powerful figures being involved in fine art spread. The court also brought fame to hundreds of notable artists for the first time. During the middle of the 1400s, composers were beginning to work for patrons aside from the church. One piece commonly played during masses is O Rosabella by John Dunstable, one of the first composers to start working as he traveled. His influence spread across Europe, and more composers and artists began to work outside of the church and for royalty, nobles, or wealthy citizens. Although there were more ways to earn money, the most still came from churches, as they were still a major power. In all aspects of fine arts, many famous works are related to religion, for example the Sistine Chapel or the Last Supper. Missa Papae Marcelli, written by Giovanni Palestrina, was originally written for the coronation of popes, and is well known today, taught in university-level courses. Maddalena Castellana, who lived and worked in Italy, was likely one of the first women to have her pieces printed and distributed. While women prior to the Renaissance had little to no opportunity to create works of art, the belief that all humans were equal was beginning to emerge, and women were starting to be regarded as equals to men. This belief is known as humanism.
Created using Powtoon.